Hey guys, here we are in Manila. Neighborhood called BGC. It's a new development area here in Manila, Philippines. And I have to tell you about this little adventure I had yesterday with my Mavic 2 Pro drone. I almost lost it amongst these buildings over here. I have it on video, which I'm going to show you in a little bit. And it was quite scary. But anyway, there's a lot of interference. I'm unfamiliar with the area, so I didn't do a pre-flight check my surrounding, you know, like see where I'm at, like look at landmarks and stuff like that. A rookie mistake. So I took it up and you know, went around these buildings right here. I didn't set the return home altitude high enough to go over the building, just in case I lose signal, which I did, and I almost lost it. So I'm going to show you where I took off earlier. So here it is. Go down and look over there. See that little green patch right there? That's where I took off, and as you can see, all over the place here. You can't see it from behind these buildings, but there's green patches over there. Behind these buildings there's green patches, and behind the building which I'm currently standing on, the other side, is actually another green patch. And from the air, they pretty much look all the same, especially if you're not familiar with the area. So if you're doing this, make sure that your flight altitude is set higher, if you're allowed to do that in your area, and the return home is set high enough so that you can actually get it back. So, but we're going to take you to the video now, and you see my little adventure. So here it is. So here I started going straight up, and then I started just roaming around through the buildings here and going in between them, and I kind of did notice erratic behavior with the transmitter right after I passed over this building here, because I was just gonna go right by this building, a little bit towards more downtown, and then kind of just like, you know, go up a little higher and return home. So at this point, I'm trying to look around and stuff, and you know, stop recording, start recording. Okay, here I started getting a little disoriented and trying to figure out where the hell I am, and I recognized that building, that patch, and there's the patch I really took off from. And okay, no worries. I think I'm okay, and I went on to go try it again. So keep going. So I just started flying around. Went and looked, and I saw a clear path. Okay, I'm gonna maybe go here or here, trying to figure out which way to go really. So I paused for a second just to make sure I got my bearings straight, and I said, "Oh, look at this little nice patch over here." You know, looking around, and okay, it's still getting a little disoriented, and I said, "Oh, this will be a nice flying past these buildings. You know, it'll be great. It'll be a great scene." So, all right, let's do this. So I start flying through this building, you know, making it you know, a nice scene. I was going to edit it and put it all together later on, but you know, it's just kind of like raw footage of me just pausing and restarting the video. So here you can tell that I lost kind of lost signal once I passed through. So I regained it, and I said, okay, well, I'm really close to this building here. So let me figure out where I'm at. And you know, this is where I can't even see any video because I lost the signal. So at this point, I actually stopped moving the stick so I can try and figure out where this drone is. You know, so I'm looking at the map and trying to figure it out. So I'm going to speed it up here, and so you guys can kind of see how long I was up there. So this is playing about 8 times the speed of normal. At this point, I'm trying to find the dot, the location of the drone through the map on the remote controller, and just trying to walk to the spot where it's supposed to be. And GPS around these buildings really suck. So I was getting turned around so many times, and at this point I was getting really nervous. I was trying to just regain control of the drone so I can either land it or do something. So coming up and walking around, I got closer to where the drone is by using the remote and trying to pinpoint, get closer to the dot, or at least get a clear view, line of sight, for the controller to start controlling the drone. So I gained a little bit of control, but I was so turned around, I didn't know where north, south, east, west is, and the GPS just kept like circling and circling. So once I thought I was getting close, but I was actually getting far, like the dot, the pinpoint would just like fly one point and then fly in another way. It was very disorienting. I wish I was recording my screen at that time so I can show you guys what I mean, but I wasn't. I didn't expect this to happen. So again, lesson learned is a rookie mistake. Be aware of landmarks in an unfamiliar area, or don't fly near big ass buildings because you lose GPS very easily, unless you're on top of the building actually. So again, it's a rookie mistake here. I start, okay, now I can control the drone so I can back away from this building and kind of look around a little bit, and all right, maybe I'm flying in the right direction because that circle right there to the lower left looked familiar. I'm like, I don't know where I'm at, and buildings behind buildings, you can't really tell. A lot of them look somewhat similar. My return to home height was not good enough, so it wouldn't go over buildings. It was so hard for it to go around buildings. It wants to go in a straight line, basically. So I'm like, maybe I can just go to this big old green patch right here and just land a drone. And so I was going to do that and go away from these trees. And, I was still trying to figure all this out. I didn't want to land it and take a chance of somebody just taking off with a drone. If it was a non-populated area, I wouldn't have any problems doing that. But you never know. So here I am. All right, I got a little bit of control. I think I know where I'm going, but I was again getting nervous and trying to figure things out. And, it would have been epic shots if I can just control the drone at this point. Here I think I was going the right way, but guess what? Right after I go over this building, it just dropped. The signal just dropped. That was the golf course. I knew where that golf course was, but again, that was behind this other building that I was standing in at that point. Now at this point, I'm running around the streets looking up, trying to look at landmarks. People think I'm crazy, and I'm just trying to figure this out. So right now, just behind a building where I think that building that you're looking at right now, straight ahead, is the building that I'm actually nearby. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go that way, and I'm gonna go sideways. I'm not gonna go through the buildings. I'm just gonna keep it near this field in case I just need to land. So I'm gonna speed this up a little bit, and you guys will see that I got somewhat of control here, going back to where I think I am. So that green patch right there on the lower left, right there, is where I ultimately ended up landing. So I'm like, all right, that looks familiar, and I look at these people. I think I'm right there. I'm pretty close, and I'm trying to follow this dot, and the drone was going one way, I was going the other way. It was just insanity. So, and I'm like, stay away from the buildings. Do not go near the buildings, but at this point I was just following. Like I said, I wasn't even looking at this point, and thank God for collision avoidance. A rookie mistake here. So I was panicked at this point, very panicked, and I didn't want to, crash a $2,000 drone here, and be out all that money. So at this point I'm sweating bullets because according to remote control, I only had about like 10 minutes left of flight time, and by the time I actually ultimately landed, I think I only had like 5 minutes left to go, and it was actually starting to beep at me. So I'm gonna cut it here. I'm gonna speed it up, and then go to the point where I'm actually landing the drone. So at this point, the remote controller started beeping, giving you that battery warning that's not going to have enough time to get back home. But I didn't actually want it to go back home because home was behind the buildings that you see to my left. Well, you can't see them now, but they're to my left. So I wanted to land in this green patch that I knew where I was. So I kind of knew where my bearing was at this point, and I'm just trying to land the sucker because I'm right on the dot, and I can see myself and the location of the drone, and I'm really close, and I think it's right here. So I started, okay, I'm gonna bring it down. I'm gonna bring it down, and there it is. There's that patch, and I don't know if you can see me. I'm right dead smack in the middle of that. No, right now about upper left. So I'm gonna come into view here in a second. I am, and I start spinning. Okay, this is the right spot, and I'm gonna go land it here because the remote at this point is beeping like crazy. It's going, and I'm like, all right, at least it's gonna land in green patch, and thank God I got it back. And again, I learned my lesson. It's just nuts. I was sweating bullets, and I think I got myself on video here, being relieved. So we'll see here. I'm going to come into view. There I am, and so yeah, lesson learned. Learned my lesson. Check landmarks, surroundings. Check your settings, especially in a forest city, which I'm not familiar at all with the streets, landmarks or anything like that. I should have looked around a little bit more. Could have been a very costly mistake. So posting this video so you guys don't make the same mistake I do. And thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one.